Plenty of dogs need training. Some families could benefit from extra help, a class for pets and kids.
That's what they noticed at the Nebraska Humane Society. So, some years back, they created a junior handler class. What's covered is the subject of this Pet Talk.
Nebraska Humane Society pet behavior specialist Kathy Gannan returns. And Kathy, you brought in an active one today, right?
This is Chance.
Hi, Chance.
Yes,
And he's young, though. He's only 2.
he's only 2.
But he still has a little bit of puppy breath, which surprises
Yes.
me that he's
He got
2.
puppy breath, yeah.
Yes.
He's precious.
He's a cockapoo.
Yep.
And his family couldn't afford to take care of him anymore. He's a very nice little boy. And
Yeah,
he's
he
a little
is.
bit
He's
shy for starts, but then as he warms up, he gets a little bit more active and more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Really
Isn't he
cute
Pretty quickly,
awesome?
though.
Yeah, so what should we know about cockapoos? Like, I guess, typically shedding, temperament, those things?
They don't shed a whole lot, but they will need to be groomed. You know, a professional grooming, unless you kind of can learn
his
to do it
lipstick's
yourself.
out. Just
Just to keep the fur from being matted and tangled and stuff.
okay.
You're on display, Chance.
Yeah.
Put on a good show, buddy.
I'm gonna eat your
All right?
microphone.
You're on display.
What else, Kathy?
But he's a sweet little dog. He walks beautifully on a leash. Snuggles great.
He's so funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the junior handler class. What's
Yes.
the big picture with that?
Basically, it's so that kids can come and learn to train their dogs without their parents. Which is kind of fun to come and do without your folks. They have to drop them off and pick them up, but they get to come to class without.
I feel like we should address both sides of the equation, starting with dogs. What do they learn in this class?
They learn respect for the child, and that the child can ask for behaviors and those things, and that kids can be really pretty cool, and they're not just a play toy, something to chase in the yard and tackle.
So how do you teach all that?
Basically, the same way we do in other classes. They learn marker word, name, and how to reward the dog. They learn some timing so that the kids get better about that. And we teach the kids what they're looking for, too. What are you looking for in the dog's body language? Because we always talk about the dogs aren't going to lie to them.
What
And it's
sort
good
of
for 'em.
what sort of change do you see, not in the dogs, but the kids as they go through these classes?
They become much more confident
Yeah.
and find out that their dog's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing, and the relationship gets tight.
I think a lot of people get dogs because their kids are the ones driving it.
Right.
They've been asking forever. The
Forever.
parents finally say yes. And then it's like, okay, well, now what?
Right. And this is a great way to help out, you know, that there are lots of responsibilities with the dog. Yes, adults have to be there always to be supervising, et cetera, but the kids can learn, especially this age group, 10 to 13, can learn to do this.
So when you say kids, this isn't for 7 or 8-year-olds. You've got to be at least 10 years
least 10.
old.
And they take some ownership over
They do.
the pet, too.
And they'll come in and go, this dog will do this for me, and it won't do it for my sister or my brother. It's like, man,
Right.
Are
I
there
can see
any
that.
parameters as you bring the dogs and the kids to these classes?
Basically, we do put every dog on their leash. We attach them to a stationary thing,
Yeah.
a hook in the wall, pole, so that the kids do get hands-free, and we know that the dogs aren't running all over. So that way, you know, parents can help them get in. We'll tie the dog out, so that's a good thing too. But there will be some times where they need to help to do practicing with like some loose leash walking and things, and we have an extra room so we can let them do on their own, so dogs aren't running up visiting. And I always have extra helpers too.
So that's why Mike said before the break, your kids have to be stronger
pretty
than the
strong.
dog, so you're not
Yes.
bringing a bull mastiff in with a 10-year-old.
Yes, just because there's a big
what-
weight difference. it
What
could be
kind of
dangerous.
change can you expect between the duo, the kids and the dog? How big of a change?
Depending on how much the kids work too when they go home. You know, if they work a little bit every day, it starts to change pretty rapidly. That dog really starts to respect them and look for them and want to hang with them and all of that. If they don't work as much, they don't see quite the progress. But they will see some, if nothing else, if they only work during class.
Hey, Kathy, that's life.
It is.
Yeah, you gotta work
Absolutely.
You said for kids it's 10 to 13.
Right.
Any age range for dogs?
Any age range for dogs.
Okay. And then when does the next class start?
August 7th.
Okay. And you have to register by August 7th?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll close it when it fills.
I mean, it could be,
But if it,
there's
if
a
it
deadline
doesn't
at the
fill
time.
till that morning, but we'll go.
You can still
Okay.
get people in. Yeah.
Yep.
And then adoptions, if somebody wants to have Chase
Yes.
in their lives.
Noon. Opens at
Today.
noon today.
Noon.
Kennels open at noon. You can come in a little early and fill out your app.
Just east of 90th and Fort. And then online, it's anyhumanesociety.org. But during the commercial break, we asked Kathy, how are things looking at the Humane Society? So let's say somebody wants a bigger dog or an older dog. How are you looking for...
We have all of those
I
things.
don't want to think about it as inventory, but...
No, but we have all kinds of dogs right now. Bigs, littles, some scared, some not so scared, some very exuberant.
a lot of animals
Old,
looking
young.
for homes.
Yes.
And they've got, whether it's dogs, cats, critters, I mean,
Yes.
you wouldn't... all of that is online, and you might be surprised at the sorts of animals you can get through the Humane Society. Kathy Gannon, it's good to see you as always. Thanks for introducing us to Chance.
Now wait a minute. He's going to go run behind the weather.
He wants to
Kathy
sniff
doesn't
around.
trust
He's
this.
going to explore.
I'm going to be in trouble.
She's
Thanks,
got the
Kathy.
leash
You will be.
nearby.
Thank you.
No Groundhog Day here.